Hello from another Tabitha's Glass Emporium YouTube video. Today we're looking at these. These are some fantastic stained glass window decals from www.fusing.shop. A wonderful guy called Jamaison has created these. And this was my take on them using Marini to make these great stained glass windows. And today I'm going to show you how to make these. So the first thing I wanted to do was get the pattern of the decal onto my thin fire. So using a light box, I've just outlined and traced them. If you don't have a light box, you can just do it in a window, hold it up and then trace them out. I haven't worried about being super accurate. I've just wanted it to give a kind of idea of where the glass is going to, where the Marini wants to be put. Excuse me. So after that, then I want to add the Marini. So I'm putting Marini first and then glass on top and then powders on top. I'm using 4mm circles so that they've got slightly more glass than a 3mm. And I'm hoping with the Marini that will give me enough volume of glass so that I won't get shrinkage. To quickly have a talk about the 6mm rule. If you're going to full fuse, your glass needs to be 6mm thick, otherwise it will shrink. And I don't want it to shrink because I want to get the full usage of the decal. So I have cut circles out of 4mm. I thought it might be tricky, guys, but it wasn't. I do have a great circle cutter. So I'm not going to show you how I cut circles because we cut circles a lot and for our Marini, and so we have a really expensive one. But it cut those really well. So looking at these, I've decided for the centre one, to choose some of our stripy sunset flower because they're a bit like stained glass windows in their own right. And then on every dot I'm going to put some more on. So I will go ahead and do this. So what I'll be doing is I'll be putting a piece of glass on top of that, but I also want to have some other colour around this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some powders on top so that the background will have some colour as well. Now I'm using transparent powders. I'm using sunset coral and light pink because these Marini are predominantly pink and kind of orangey, and that's what I feel sunset coral and light pink are. Guys, if you're using powders, wear a mask. I'm not, because I'm talking to you. I often find it useful to raise up so you can easily pick something up. I'm just going to use the lid of this. And I'm going to put the pink in the middle. Now you want a pretty good covering, otherwise you just won't see the colour. Well, you won't get the saturation of the colour you need. But these are quite strong colours as well, and I still want to be able to see the Marini. So it's a sort of toss-up, and it's always hard using powders. I may get it right, I may get it wrong, who knows? We'll have to just see. It's all a bit of an experiment. So I've got that there, and then that one will go on there. Now I'm not going to put it on right now because I'm going to be doing these and I'm worried I'm going to knock the powders. So I'll just set this off to one side and then we will start on them next. So I'm going to decorate the rest in a kind of similar way, and you can see it on the sped up version.
On the beat.
So here they are done. I really love this idea. I think it's so great, and I think they look so pretty. I'm actually not going to put powders on any other one but this because I think they're too pretty as they are. So that one will go on top with powder. This one and this one. This I ran out of 4mm, so this one's going to have two In fact, what I might do is that's got quite a lot of glass, so I'm just going to do one like that and another one like that, because that's, I think, probably close on 3 mil of glass in there anyway. So these can go in the kiln. Now they're going to go on a fuse I've talked about before, where we do a long bubble squeeze so that the glass relaxes around all the marini. They kind of keep their shape a bit, and then they full fuse after that, and we can see how it looks when it comes out. So here they are out of the kiln. Now we've had some slippage. The glass has slightly slid off the marini. It's more obvious on this one, and this one, my powder idea was not good. So let's go them one by one. So you can put them over the decal and kind of see. It's going to work, but I think I need to do a bit of grinding. So I'm going to grind off this area here. I also want to drill a hole, which I'm going to drill here. And then I'm also going to sandblast this side of it and put the decal on this side. Same with this one. I mean, I love this. I think it's so pretty. And I can't wait to see it with a decal on it. And I know some of the pattern doesn't entirely line up, but you know, and if I put a hole there, it's not going to be so bad. And then this one over here, I mean, I'm also wanting to make sure all the black of the decal, I'm not losing any of that. I'm just going to take that off and I think drill a hole there. And then this one's not really slipped, which is great. Except we've got a sort of thing here, so that's where I'll put the hole. So I'm going to sandblast, grind a little bit and drill holes, and then you can come back to me when it's done. So I've watched Jamaison's video, so I hope I'm going to get this right. As I understand, we put these in the water for about 30 seconds. We're trying to get the decal off the backing paper and wetting it. It's like a kind of like, you know, for kids when you have those tattoos and you wet them and you ask them to stay still for a length of time so the tattoo releases to their skin and they never stay still for long enough. But this is like that. But I think he said about 30 seconds. So now it's loose and off, and so I'm going to take it out, and this is clean and dry. Oh, and I've got the wrong one. That was lucky. And I'm with mine, because mine designs are designed to go over in a specific place. I then want to line it up with my design a bit. And I think that's about as good as it's going to go. I'm going to give it a little careful damp. Now, as I understand it, the yellow colour, because it looks a bit yellow, will burn off, and then it will be coloured. Now, actually, when I'm putting it down, I can see there's an air bubble underneath that, and you do need to work out any air bubbles. So I'm going to lift it slightly, get the air bubble to release, and then put it back down again. I think that is now good. So I'm going to do the rest, and then they'll go in the kiln on Jameson's suggested firing, which we'll also. So here they are out of the kiln. Mine are interestingly, because they're slightly tack fused, there's still a bit of texture. So it's quite interesting how the stained glass decal has sat on the fused area. Also, guys, once I'd done them and I put them in the kiln, I then read the instructions on firing and realised, of course, they're low firing decals, so where I had grinded the edges, I didn't take them to a high enough temperature to get a fire polish. I can now just polish them on my grinder, but if you want to grind anything, you will need to then fire polish before you put the decals on. I think it's quite interesting which way to display them. Like this one doesn't work so well that way up, but it looks beautiful that way up. This one looks great either way. It's fantastic. This one, I mean, I love the roses on this side. It's hard to see the detail, but they really sort of, because they're underneath, they've come out, whereas here they're slightly closed in. But they look really pretty both sides. And then this one is probably my favourite. I love, I don't know, so that you can hold it up to the light and get some kind of colour through it. but it's really, really pretty. So those work really well. Now we've decided, because we drilled them, just to put a leather cord round. It's about, you know, how much you want to spend, how much can you sell them for. But other ideas we had is, I don't know if you know grommets. So these are grommets, and then you can put them, you put one either side and you glue, and they sit like that. Would be quite pretty. But grommets aren't the cheapest things in the world unless you can find a cheap supplier. Also, you can use a jump ring, and then we had a triangle, which these are for key rings that we had, but we could put those through. But I really like these simple, just with a leather thong like this. But it's up to each individual person how you like them. I really love this. I'm so pleased we did this, and I'm going to see what other ideas I can come up with for these decals. So I hope you've liked this video, and if you have, at the end of it, right at the end after everything, there'll be a subscribe button. There's also another video to our other, one of our other videos, and a link to sign up for our newsletter. In the comments below, there's the detail. There'll be the link to the website where you can buy the decals, and also a link to Jamaison's video showing how to use them, because he's much better at showing and will probably have many more details. I know if you buy them, you can then sign up to his Facebook page showing lots of great ideas from other people who've already bought them, how to use them. So that's a great resource that he's set up. So I really hope you've liked this. If you have, please share what you've done with it, and we look forward to seeing it.